do you think parents that have criminal records should be allowed to volunteer or work with kids?
Yes, but.
Yes, but.
And the but is any violent crimes, right? Any crimes against children, you're out. Right? And when I say violent, I mean, I'm not talking about like the assault when you were 18, 19 years old. There's some people who have had to settle for an assault because they couldn't afford an attorney, and they just settled, and they did that in their young age, and then come later on in life. I've actually known of real situations where it's come back to bite them that they settled early. Anyways, Ursula, it's a yeah, but. As long as you don't have violence on your record, and as long as you don't have crimes against kids, yes.
And I would actually agree with you. I think that if you have served the time that you needed to serve and that the crime had nothing to do with children or harming children or do not put kids in any kind of harm's way, I would not have an issue with it. So, yeah, I think it's a but.
See, I don't know. I'm actually leaning towards no on this. And the reason is because, so if you're going to say it's okay for someone to fail a background check when it comes to a criminal record to volunteer with kids in schools, that also means that we don't have to worry about that when it comes to volunteering with your kid's Little League team, for being a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout leader. Any other opportunity out there working with children where you're asked to fill out a background check form, go ahead. If you have a criminal record, fine. I don't think it is a perfect screening system. In fact, I think it's a terrible screening system, but it's also the only one we have. What other way do we have to check to see if somebody has, quote, red flags that might make them unsafe to be around kids?
Are we arguing about the same thing? Are you saying should they be allowed or should they have to take a background check?
No, my point is, like, you've failed the background check because you have crimes on your record, right? Yeah. There's no point in a background check form unless you're checking for crimes against children. There's no other way to say, what's a concerning thing in this person's past that would disqualify them from working with kids?
So, as someone who coached for a lot of years here in the state of Washington, I think that they have done they only run into problems, Ursula, when they don't do the background check, right? Sometimes people say they're going to do the background check and they don't do it, and then something happens. Come to find out, this person's coaching. They weren't supposed to be because they slipped through the cracks.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually what happens is that something comes up on your background. That's when the organization usually takes it like, okay, what is it? Oh, you got caught selling marijuana when you were 25 years old, right? Those are the things they say, oh, okay,
yes.
Let's look at that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So maybe that there needs to be some kind of appeals process if you aren't. But
I think they've gotten it pretty, from what I've seen and been around, I don't know what it's like now, but it's done pretty good.